Yeah, I'm a day late and a dollar short. I don't care. So, The Sims 4 to add sexual orientation in free future update. We are committed to continuing to improve our representation of the LGBTQIA plus community. I am kind of curious. Well, my first question is, what took so long? Like, for real. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I'm genuinely surprised this is not something that's been in The Sims for forever because lesbian, like homosexual couples in The Sims, you know, this was never. I don't understand. This was never in there. This is kind of weird. EA announced Sims 4 players will soon be able to adapt their Sims sexuality. Cool. I think that's fantastic because people, you play The Sims. Why can't you have a woman and a woman be in a relationship and a man being in a committed relationship in The Sims? I mean, it's this like you can drown your family for crying out loud. As detailed in their sexual orientation in The Sims new post, a future update will include ways to alter your Sims sexual orientation. The update's design lead, Jessica Croft, elaborated further. As a team, we hold creativity, discovery, inclusivity, and play. See, I wish they would just take that word out of the vernacular because when people see inclusivity and diversity, they just they it hurts. Those words hurt because they're associated with bad storytelling and just announce it. Hey, you can have same-sex relationships in your Sims. Like, okay, cool. Take it a step further. Go with the when it comes to character creation. I would actually promote. I'd be in favor of a character creator in the style of Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, you can have body types, pronouns, like whatever, the voices and stuff. You criticize that all you want to, but it's put it in the game. Let people make their decisions. If you don't like it, you just like if people not liking that kind of decision, I'm not going to buy the game. It's like, well, that's dumb. That's dumb. If you put it in there, you don't have to use it. No one is forcing you to make a trans character. No one's forcing you to make a gay character. Play the game like you normally would. I, I, I don't see anything wrong with this kind of stuff. Read, keep going. Community. For the people, for our people and community. With that in mind, we're delighted to bring the sexual orientation feature to all Simmers. I think that's fantastic. I think it's a long time coming, considering how old the Sims 4 franchise is. How old the Sims 4 franchise is. Between this update and the recent pronouns update, sure, why not? Who cares? We're taking several strides forward into being a game that respects and celebrates the nuance and color of everyday life. Yeah, cool. Okay. It's going to be people out there that are just going to shit on this decision because of the message and seen it as pandering. But I don't. This isn't something I see as pandering. I mean, The Sims, there's no underlying story. You create your own character, you create your own story, you build your own house, you build your own relationships. If there's any game that should have had this for a long time, I think it's The Sims. The pronouns, the do they have trans character creations? Like, can you make a trans woman, trans man? Can you make those characters? I'm not going to say the word I want to because I'm too early on this platform. Authenticity, sure. I think that's fantastic. You know, make your own story, make your own character, make the character that you want to be. Uh, and be careful with the vocal minority, the loud, squeaky wheels. They're on both sides. Believe me, the idiots that will come out and condemn your company for putting this in for some sort of woke agenda. It's like, no, they're making a game. If there was a story attached to it that pushed a narrative over actual good storytelling, maybe you'd have an argument. But it's The Sims. It's The Sims, for crying out loud. It's a choose your own story, create your own story. Like, Like, has this seriously not been in the game forever? I just, could you not have a same-sex relationship? I keep repeating it over and over again, but I'm honestly genuinely surprised that this has not been a thing. I don't know. What do we got here? In short, players can, quote, assign a series of attraction parameters. Cool. I think that's neat. To their Sims. That these three variations include romantically attracted to. Okay. Exploring romantically. Ooh. And the Sim is interested in mess around with. Okay. That's kind of funny. With the former and latter parameters featuring options for men, women, and the options yes or no under the exploring romantically category. Okay. Regarding whom the Sims is attracted to, thank you. Affirmative. Let's see. Regarding whom the player's Sim is attracted to, Croft declares that this is a simple affirmative statement. Whose gender doesn't match the Sim's attraction, attempts a romantic interaction, they will be rejected. Okay, cool. I think that's kind of neat. Hmm. I wonder. uh, I'm. T- it hasn't been in the game, huh? Never been in the game. Cool. So this is from July. When's it coming in? When's it going to be in the game? In the game, in the game, in the game. When's it coming? Do 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 do. All I know is if it's two men in the house, it better look like a fabulous house. That's all there is to it. Yes, that's called a stereotype, but we all know it's true. Do 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 do. So when's it going to be in the game? Uh, The Sims 4 is 8 years old. Wow. Fuck, I'm old. While Croft had addressed gender identity, she seemingly opted to overlook bisexuality. Why? So wait, hold up. How do I who on a sim that isn't interested in romance with another with anyone? So wait, they sent me, huh? If you want to read the whole article, go in and bounding into comics. It is under video games. It's under The Sims. I genuinely think this is a really interesting take. If they don't, I'm still. Why is this? Who's okay with that? Nobody. So I think it'll be. I think it's kind of neat addition to The Sims. I'm sure, just like anything else, you're going to have people that are just going to be reaching to hate it because they just don't like. We're moving forward in video games. You know, anytime I think more and more video games are going to come out with when it's a generic RPG with a non-named, um, like a non-specific protagonist, like RPGs like The Witcher, it's a specific protagonist. You can't change anything about the character, and that's fun. When you have a non-specific protagonist like in Cyberpunk, I think we're going to get more and more options for the main characters, and people are just going to have to accept it and move on. You don't have to, as long as the story's good, the game's good, and the mechanics are good. It's not going to be a problem. It's the future of gaming, and people are just gonna have to get used to it and accept it and start focusing on the less superficial crap. As long as in any entertainment, whether it's video games, movies, or comics, give us a good story. Nobody will care. Sure, it's like no one will care. Give good story, good gameplay, and everything else is going to be what it is. It's going to be superficial. More options are always good. So see where it goes.